Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to take a look inside Solar Marine, Tactical Warfare in the Solar System. This is a game designed by Kerry Anderson and published by Microgame Design Group. I've already covered several of Kerry's titles from Microgame Design Group on the channel. This is the latest one we're going to take a look at. It is a tactical game, as it says in the title, and the locations you're going to be battling across are across the Solar System. And it is a Ziploc game, so we don't have a box to open up. We'll just jump right in and see what you get. The front cover has a chart here that lists the different locations within the solar system, the radius, surface pressure, surface gravity, all that stuff, and then the maps that you'll be using to signify these locations. Then we have our rulebook, our player aid card, which has our CRT and weapons effectiveness chart, as well as damage table, a few maps, and our counter sheets. So let's set up the map and take a closer look at the game. And here's a look at the 4 different maps that you get with the game. 11 by 17 inch maps. These are paper maps. They'll be folded, so you'll have to fold them back a little bit to flatten them out. Throw down some plexi on top and you'll be good to go. You get open space and then 3 different planetary or moon locations that can be used for any of the scenarios. They'll actually tell you which ones to use in the scenarios, but you can also use it to create your own and combine them together if you'd like to make different landscapes. If you have other games in the system, you could probably match those up as well because they look like they have similar map scale and similar maps that can be used to expand some of your battles using those maps. And speaking of maps, we'll take a look at the card that we saw earlier when we were initially looking at the game. This lists all the locations within the solar system and then the corresponding maps that will be used to depict those locations. And the other player aid card comes with the combat results table, weapons effectiveness chart, and damage table. On the backhand side, we get the terrain effects chart, unit legend, and combat unit summary down at the bottom. And this is the counter sheet that comes with the game. Plenty of units for ground combat. You also have space vehicles and some buildings and terrain features and admin counters. Now we'll take a look at the rulebook that comes with the game. This is a 12-page rulebook, and as you've seen with the other Microgame Design Group's rulebooks, they use the same format here. Starts off with your introduction, game components, counters, definitions. Inside we get an explanation of game scale, ground weapons, horizons, infantry units, passengers, space vessels, structures, vehicles, visibility, weapon types, and then the sequence of play starts on page 3, and that gives you the breakdown of how all of the steps are handled in the game. You have your space interaction, landing craft, spaceports, movement, and all the different types of movement in the game, line of sight. It is a tactical game after all. And we have combat starting on page 6, and that goes for a couple of pages. You have fire combat, nuclear combat, fire strength, area effects, craters, indirect fire, weapons effectiveness, target mode and terrain, and then resolution with an explanation. All text explanations, no illustrated examples in the rulebooks. Then we get to structure, self-destruct, smoke, planets, ice, dust, and methane lakes and space, the different types of terrain features that you'll be dealing with fighting in the vacuum of space. Then the scenarios start on page 9, and we've got, let's see, First Lunar War 2035, Imperial Period 2075, and then the Martian Revolt of 2095. And that looks to be all of these scenarios in the game. Then you have a linked game. It says here that Solar Marine can be linked to the Final Frontier using Solar Marine to resolve ground battles in the Final Frontier. The breakdown of the Final Frontier counters is as follows, and it explains to you how to break down your units. So if you want to play basing off the Final Frontier, you can play at the tactical level using this game, which is why I got both games, because I like the idea of having that cross-pollination between the two games, drilling down a little further and going to the tactical level with this one. And that is a look at everything you get inside of Solar Marine, Tactical Warfare in the Solar System. This is a game designed by Kerry Anderson and published by Microgame Design Group. I've covered multiple games from Microgame Design Group from Kerry Anderson on the channel. I saw the title Solar Marine. I was obligated because of Marines. And then you add in that you can use this with Final Frontier and drill down based on a higher level game. You can drill down to the tactical level with this one. I said, heck yeah, this is a no-brainer. Let's get them both. Unfortunately, the one that I got in the Final Frontier is that Fiery Dragon production, and the counter quality is just not that good. But you know what? It is what it is. It's still the same game. I can use that, I can play that, and then drill down with tactical level for this. So that's really cool. And I think if you guys are really interested in sci-fi games, especially hex and counter sci-fi war games, give Microgame Design Group a look. They've got several really interesting titles out there. These are Ziploc games. They're not expensive games. and some unique subjects. So I think it's worth checking them out if you've not already done so. Well, I hope that helps you guys out if you've been curious about this one. If you have any comments or questions, post them down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.